Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with Macross 7. Before we do anything else, we have a couple of comments. First up is Lucifel from SDF Macross, episode 27, Love Flows By, who says, "We will win, greater than my boyfriend is a pilot." You were about to
Uh,
say something about this before, because I brought this up to you before, and I decided, hey, let's hold off and do this on a recording.
yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a matter of taste.
Yeah, if you have
And
none, you think "We Will Win" is better.
wow, okay, that I wasn't gonna put it that way, but sure. The
I
thing is,
went, I went, I just want to put out there, I went, and since I've never seen Robotech, I specifically listened to the Robotech of, I think she's still called Lin May in Robotech,
yeah,
singing "We Will Win," and that was not good singing.
the voice actress for Lemon May in Robotech, at least in English, was also uh set up to be the one that sings, but she's not a singer, so she does a passable work. Now, what I would say is that the themes of the music of Robotech ironically kind of fit better Macross because it's sort of like, oh, we already watched the series. We know what's going to happen. And so it's more martial. The music is more martial. And like something like We Will Win is like, oh, this is a wartime. We need a song that, moves the troops to fight, right? So thematically, they a little bit of better fix. But it's like a fanfic writer coming after they read the entirety of a novel. It's like, well, I know what happened, so now I can add this stuff and fix it, right? But the overall quality of the Macross music, because of course they have different, like they have specific singing voices and all that stuff. Yeah, it's better, and it also fits in a way that this is supposed to be just an idol, right? As opposed to be very specific music because we're in a war and we need to write these songs for this war. It's like she's an idol who finds herself in a war situation, right? Which is slightly different.
Well, again, my thing is, it didn't sound like a good song, and maybe I came in with expectations, like, I expected to hear something like "Sweet Victory," and it was just like, I want to say an ordinary song, but obviously I think it's already subordinary and that's not good. Like, if I was the Centrati, I would not be swayed by this. Like, I think I heard Kevin sing that same song when he stubbed his toe the other day. Um, Again, for me, the joy I had from "We Will Win" was when Lin Min May kisses Kyle Min May, or whatever his name is there. I originally heard Carl, and I was like, I can't find
It's
anything about
Kyle, right?
Carl Min May. Carl
Yeah,
seems like a better name for him. Anyway, when they kiss, and then I hear all this Entrati in English go, "Oh, ew, oh, how could she do that?" And it's exactly my thoughts when Kaifun kisses Lin Min May. So
yeah.
it's like, oh man, I wish I could make a cut of this. Just have all this Entrati speaking English, and then back to the Japanese of the Macross. But yeah, no, I completely disagree. My boyfriend is a pilot is a song that lasted for 40 years. So, look, I know that's a disingenuous thing 'cause I'm using the universe of Macross. It's just a better song. It might not like have anything to do with the scenario that it's in, but come on. Even just the
Sorry about that.
zoom, 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 zoom is a better beat than anything in "We Will Win."
Yeah.
It's not a good song. I mean, you should have compared it to like one of her worst songs. Then maybe we could have like a debate. Next up, Nozumu Yumi from SDF Macross episode 28, My Album. The air would be crappy on the but on the other hand, animal life got killed off even harder than the plant life, so there's less stuff using oxygen. The big problem would be all the stuff that burned. Also, the oceans are still there, and presumably tons of stuff underwater survived, so sea life is still sucking up the CO2. Furthermore, humanity has completely stopped using fossil fuels due to pretty much all the fossil fuel infrastructure getting nuked. Presumably, none of the tech on the Macross uses fossil fuels, since it has to operate in space. Basically, completely ending humanity's contribution to atmospheric CO2 as of 2010.
And the fact that the imprint of humanity is much smaller too. So
Well, I mean, it's indicating that we no longer have any fossil fuel using stuff on the planet. So, unless we start farming cows again, or any ranching, I guess. It's funny because I was just thinking about this comment when we were watching Gundam just a little while ago. Because the tractor that just like it looks like it's diesel powered does the
yeah,
whatever that little clamp thing is that pushes the smoke out, and they're on a colony. So who the hell knows? But yeah, I think I made the argument when that episode was airing, not airing, when we were reacting to it, that I thought they had destroyed all the oceans. So I mean, obviously they hadn't because we see it later on that the oceans are still there, future um, Macross Plus, if you will.
yeah, and also you have oceans, you have rain, so it does rain. I mean, probably has acid rain, but still
Well,
rains.
no, the point
And
being that the oceans are still there, then most of the
yeah,
oxygen production and CO2
yeah,
consumption is from plant life in the oceans. But like I said, during the time where we were watching that, I assumed that they just hit the whole planet.
yeah. No,
Considering,
I
well,
think they show a map and they
that
show the areas impacted.
that
Yeah.
is the Alaskan base map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like comprehensive. We don't know what they're taking that from. Like what satellites in orbit? Aren't those getting hit too? My point of view comes from when we saw them. I can't remember the name of the episode. Captured, first contact, maybe. Um,
Yeah, well, they vaporize the entire atmosphere
yeah,
and
when they're
everything else.
showing them what they can do, and we see a planet
Yeah.
that's like it's got oceans, it's got green life on it, and it just turns to a gray marble, and it's like, oh, they hit everything. So why would they just target specific stuff for Earth when they specifically say, let's take care of it? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you got points. I'll give you points. However many you want. You're the only one competing in the point game. Lastly, we have Christoph C. from SDF Macross, episode 28, my album. When I was a little kid, I thought she was cleaning his place to thank Hikaru for saving her.
Oh, that's one interpretation.
I
It wouldn't
mean,
be my interpretation, but
they don't
still.
do anything. I mean, he's barely home. She's like, she's acting like Fra, technically.
Yeah.
I mean, is it your interpretation that Fra is getting a little nookie on the side from this all?
No, I don't think
I
so.
mean,
I
Amuro
mean, they
is
were.
already in his boxers.
Yeah.
Look, we know where the series goes after SDF Macross. It doesn't seem wildly crazy to think people could think this way. Well, those have been our comments. You want to go ahead with a recap?
Ah, yes. Last episode, episode 31, Passionate Scandal. Essentially, a tabloid uh, focuses on Bizarra and starts making pronouncements about who he's hanging with, that he's, having an affair with Rex, that he is, with Mylene, with everybody who can, and doctoring pictures and the like. It turns out that these pictures are coming. There's one reporter who is the ace reporter, uh, and she turns out to be Michael's sister. So Michael is giving her photos about what's going on because he's surveilling Basara on the behest of the mayor. That's why he's getting his pictures. But she really wants to know who Basara is. And since this is episode 30, it reminds me
31.
31 that I don't care anymore. I used to care and I don't care anymore. And of
Well,
course, we don't get anything from him. We only get him going to where Sybil is at, trying to sing to her, getting beat up by Giggle, and somehow that impresses her so much. Is like, oh my god, he's so great. I'm not gonna do the tabloid thing anymore because he's somebody who can take a punch. I guess.
I want to say that she gets like defended by him. I
Yeah,
think there's a threat there that I can't quite remember.
Giggle kind of turns on her, and he takes another punch for her, and that makes Giggle cry eventually. He's like, I can't do nothing.
Well, I want to remind you that Giggle is going through spiritual withdrawal because he's not taking in any spiritual and giving everything to
Yeah,
Civil. And one of the
yeah,
infiltrators even said you're really low. I think he's like 40 something percent. And if
yeah,
you don't take any more spiritual, you'll die. So, I mean, technically, Giggle is a starving man.
yeah. So, but again, Giggle has more of a presence there. I get why he's being defensive and trying to kick Bizarro's ass, but Bizarro's like, no, just take the punches. It's just like, like everything else. Literally, there's a scene where he gets surrounded by reporters, and his response is to run through them singing, because everything he does is singing,
Well, to be
singing, and
fair, he's like a nuclear reactor when it comes to singing. So, we
yeah,
do know that there's power behind his music.
yeah. But it's like he sings and he walks away or runs away. That's all he does, you know. And
Well,
he talk and Rex talks to him, and he's like, nah, you've been bothered by this. It's like, ah, don't worry about it. Like, okay. And then we get a new enemy, a new kaiju, one that actually talks and sends these pink, fluffy monster things to attack to get spiritual from people. And people are, we're getting a spiritual drain. And so Sound Force comes out, and Basara sings, and this time he apparently kills these summoned creatures. And the big kaiju who's standing on the other side of the lake, going, "Oh, so that's what happened." And he just warps away,
it's crazy to me.
and
I'm
that's it.
having such a hard time remembering this episode you're describing. I don't know
Yeah,
why I don't see. Like when you were talking about Michael giving pictures to his sister about Basara, I'm like, oh, well, that furthers the development that Michael is siding with Gamlin about getting rid of Basara as a possible love interest for Mylene. And it's like, we'll see. Yeah, those are elements of story. Those are elements of narrative at play that have been
yeah.
long planted and are not so much having a payoff, but are at least being described some more.
My apologies. Still have that bad cough from way back.
I mean, sometimes it's the hardest thing to get rid of. I actually have these. I don't actually know what pills they are. Um, because after all my throat surgeries, it's just like burning there all the time. So it's one of the reasons why I can't sleep at night. And that was one of their solutions, is maybe take a bunch of those and it'll soothe it.
Anyway,
But no, my point was that there are elements that stood out to me, like that in the giggle thing. They are solid story points that have been planted and are waiting for payoff. And I feel like instead of payoff, we're just getting step two of a story that I don't know how many steps there are. When it comes to the new bad guy, though, it's an intelligent kaiju. To be fair, we don't know that Grabble's not intelligent. It seems like he's telepathically connected to Gabble. Gibble? What the hell's
yeah,
his name?
gobble.
Grabble and Gabble is such a fucking bad name combo. Anyway, that seems like they're telepathically communicating and we're just not getting it on
Yeah,
the viewer side. Whereas this guy is like, I don't know. If this guy was being played by an actor, it would definitely be an Englishman.
yeah. He shows up, summons these things to get, but he's more like an experiment. Like he's trying to, wow, how are these people going to react to this? And of course, when Basara activates his power, he just destroys them. He's like, "Oh no, I killed
Oh
them.
yeah, no,
That
he was
is
super
wrong."
upset.
So upset about that, and that's
Oh,
basically the
that's when he
episode.
starts
Oh,
singing at Gamblin. Gamblin. What the fuck? I can't do names today.
yeah,
Gamblin. He starts
mhm.
singing right in Gamblin's face
Yeah,
because
because
Gamblin
Emily's
says,
like,
"I like your music now." What are you not gonna listen to Mylene anymore?
yeah, yeah.
I'm
That
done
was a
talking
pretty,
this episode.
yeah, a very bizarre little. He starts
Basara.
singing into ear and into its ear hole, bro. Like, I'm gonna sing to you. It's like he's like, okay.
Yeah, it's
He's
very
doing the thing like the dog who doesn't like. Okay.
well. It's this very weird. Mylene. I don't remember. Was it this episode or last episode? Mylene says, "You really don't have a problem with Basara? Are you
It's last
sure?"
episode.
Yeah.
Last episode, yeah.
So it's very much playing on that where he says, "No, I don't think I do have a problem. I found him really annoying at first, but I've like gotten to stomach him." And he like shows that to Basara, and Basara is like, "Let me shout in your ear."
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find me annoying again. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I don't know. It's like Basara, probably I'm going to say this when we do the final recap of the series before we've gone to the
Oh,
OVAs
when we do character
and the
rankings.
movies. Yeah, because Basara, I'm going to say is like he hasn't changed at all. But everybody now is coming around to his stuff. He's playing the character of like the old sensei who doesn't speak and like wax on, wax off, and you're like, oh, that's what he's trying to teach us.
Except that that's
Except,
Ray.
yeah, and it's like, okay, but he acts that way and expects everybody to get it. And I feel like the plot is twitching itself so that it makes sense.
Oh, it's not.
Because normally,
If it was doing
yeah,
that, then we wouldn't be complaining because it would make sense.
no,
It's
I mean,
it's
it's
trying
not
to
explaining it.
justify it.
It's trying to justify it, but it's not explaining it. So it just works. There's other people found out stuff.
I have theory
Yeah,
crafted
I'm gonna.
more about the bad guys.
Yeah,
I have the good guys because the bad guys who aren't even on screen as much have given me more clues. But I feel like they're more important too. So
supposed to be. Yeah,
yeah. Also, I don't think we covered that the new bad guy can teleport.
yeah. He
Like
can
not.
fold.
I mean, maybe it's folding, but it looks like teleportation because
Yeah,
we don't really ever. I don't know. I guess maybe we need to see it from his perspective to know if he's folding or teleporting.
or whatever. Yeah.
It's still weird either way. I don't even remember what this episode's supposed to be about.
Oh yeah, because there's a note. There's a moment where one of the commanders, not Captain Genius, goes to Dr. Chima and says, we have to expand the program. We have to convert all our fighters into doing
He's
this, right?
shown up like 2 episodes
Yeah,
now, at the
yeah,
very
yeah.
least, because he's also shown
Right.
up at Basar's home. Like, and he tells Mephitos, "Can you stop?" You know? Which is, to be fair, the most reasonable reaction if you had to hang around Mephitos at all.
Which is she's still my girl, but
Can you imagine all day, every day?
yeah, that would get annoying. I
That
like her, I love
literally,
her, but it's
she
yeah,
is the kid sitting behind you on an airplane, kicking your seat.
yeah, like
Will you stop?
yeah.
I'm just, yeah. I guess there's nothing left but to get into it. We don't want another 20 minutes of hate at the beginning of the episode. I'm saying it's not hate. It's literally my second or third favorite Macross show still. I
Yeah.
think Zero is still my top. It's hard. I can't tell if this is better or equal to SDF Macross in my mind. The songs make it better, I feel like. Because otherwise, it's still an element of the same kind of frustration of the will they, won't they kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, if you consider episode 28 plus of SDF Macross, we're in the same kind of territory, so you can't say SDF Macross is better if you include 28 plus. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I know I probably said this before, because I always comment about the opening of the show, but I wish it, even if it didn't change anything, or even if it didn't have like a second opening, that they would just add stuff or change stuff. Because that doesn't, like, if you make a full, say, I don't know, 2 minute opening to the show, and then the first time you air it, you only air like a minute, and then you add all the stuff you cut out over time, that doesn't require you to make more new stuff. You just add the old stuff. You know, like Civil shows up, and you start adding Civil's opening scenes back into the opening.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, you fucking answer who the hell Flower Girl is, and you add that to the opening. Because you deigned to put her in the opening. She walks between you and Gamlin as though that was a thing. Although, to be fair, Gamlin has had more interaction with Flower Girl
Yeah.
than Bazaar has. He sat next to her like, ha, we both brought flowers. You know? Bazaar hasn't even looked at her. Hey, that planet the deathmatch happened at.
Hey, we're still stuck in this planet for some reason.
Well, because I mean, all the wreckage is there, right?
Yeah, but why haven't they just run away? Their fleet is intact.
Only they don't know where to go, and arguably now that we have the pilots. Sorry, I wanted to get as much mid-May and C as possible. Now that we have the pilots in their machines, they might be able to reverse their flight, their full path, or whatever the fuck they came from, to find out where they're being attacked from. Martin. So if they were going to go anywhere, I would assume it'd be this episode. People are gonna get killed.
Yeah, but Basara doesn't care about that.
I'm saying
Savitas doesn't care about that.
they're gonna get people killed by having them fly up. Remember when they couldn't even get pilots before? Now you're expected to sing and be able to pilot? We did this episode already. Literally. You remember when they had Basara as judge for the pilots?
Yeah.
Back in the episode where everyone brought their old-fashioned robots? Or, you know, Valkyries or whatever?
He does the same thing. He just leaves, doesn't care. Like, I don't do whatever I want.
It's just the same episode again. Battle 7 isn't connected to City 7, just like when that episode happened. You remember when the infiltrators attacked during all of that too, and everyone was like, you know, I don't want to be a pilot after all. You better be wearing clothes under that. Well, it is if I want to be a creep, but I came here to be a creep today. You remember when I said I played piano?
Yeah.
There you go, thank you.
Okay, this is...
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. What? What the fuck is happening?
Well, shut up. And doing this in... Yeah, I'm not believing...
Hey, remember when our shared boyfriend died? What was that, 3 days ago? Fuck.
この非常時を乗り切るにはあらゆる可能性を試してみることも必要かと。無駄だと分かっていてもか。たとえ無駄だとしても、若い女性の水着姿を見るのも。
Well, FOMO's back to normal.
Yeah.
ミリア。
Oh, oh.
Yeah, she's staying fit.
Yeah.
I think they just did this for all the back shots.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? On my main screen here, very blurry. The very small screen that I have on my OBS, not blurry. Yeah,
Why do they have to be in bikinis? What's?
because of Chiba.
Yeah,
She's gonna win an election. That's all I can say. Well, at least we're being gender fluid with this. Oh fuck! Never mind. This guy.
Why do you
Why are
care?
you
That guy was-
happy? Why are you happy that Bobby is good?
Oh, my eyes. Yeah, the banana hammock really sells it. Really.
Is that shampoo
I
from
guess
Ranma? Ranma 1/2?
Yeah,
She looks familiar. I can't place her. That's the only thing I can think of.
probably.
Yeah, she kissed you. Why is she in? I feel like she's faking it. We've seen her eyes open twice now.
「俺は現時点でのジャミングバーズの設立には反対なんだよ。
サウンドブースターの開発で一気に音楽隊を増やす。それがお前の考えだったんだろ？
ああ。だが今回の二次審査に合格した10人。その中にはサウンドブースターを使いこなせるやつは一人としていな
Why
い。
did you?
歌で敵と互角に勝負できるパワーを秘めているのは今はバサラ
I feel
君
like
た
we
ちだ
already
けだ。
knew this.
軍はファイアーボンバーの何度かの成功で舞い上がっている。浮き足立っている。誰もがバサラ君たちのような効果を発揮できると思うのは大きな間違いだ。
千葉隊、言葉を慎みたまえ。
バートン大佐。
貴様はこのプロジェクトの推
I feel
進
like
メンバ
Colonel
ーの
Barton's
一
gonna
人
turn
だ。
out to be a bad guy.
自らのプロジェクトのあり方を批判してどうする？
しかし、
黙れ！地球を救ったあのスーパースター、林民名でさえ、デビューした当時はただのアイドル歌手だったのだ。私は彼女が新人の時から生で見ていた。彼女は
So it was your idea to put it in a bikini, put all those people in bikinis, huh?
やがては戦争を終結させるほどすごい歌手となったのだ。可能性は誰で
To
もあ
be
る。
fair,
それを引き
she
出すの
sang
が
the
我々
first song she
の
ever
使命
did there too.
初めから諦めたような発言はするな。
申し訳ありませんでした。
千葉、以後気をつけたまえ。
Well, implies how old
以前から
Colonel Barton
サウンド
is.
フォースの母体であるプロジェクト M のメンバーの一人だったんだ。今回ジャミングバーズで構想の全権を任され、気負ってしまうのは仕方のないことだ。
千葉、手柄を横取りされないように気をつけろよ。
今のプロジェクトでは無理だろ。
Who cares about credit?
He does.
About survival of mankind.
You don't remember it was his big thing when he was gonna get like the Nobel Prize and everything? Character motivation is like literally all I'm paying attention to anymore. I gotta keep remembering everything for when I update the board. Rex? No.
Nope. What
な
the
んだお
hell?
前ら。何？
バートン大佐の度重なる招集を無視した。来てもらおう。
Oh, please court martial his ass. I would love it.
貴様、逆らう気
It
か？
wouldn't make any sense, but I'd still love it.
逃げやしないよ。触るなって言ってるだけだ。さあ、どこに連れてってくれるんだ？
So Bobby made it.
Yeah.
待て待て、ここは遊びの場ではない。バーサラ君、やっと来てくれたようだな。君に大役を課す。
大役？
ここに集まってもらったメンバーは難関を突破して残った。
Yeah, the difficult auditions of being half naked on stage.
6人を選びたい。君に音楽の指導と6人を選ぶ審査に加わってもらいたい。
俺は指導なんかできない。お断りだな。
アサラ君、これは統合軍司令部の命令だぞ。
できないものはできないんだ。
サウンドフォースは統合軍の指揮下にある。お前は統合軍の一員なんだぞ。
俺はなった覚えはないね。
貴様
Yeah, you literally did
指揮下に
though.
ありながら敵と遭遇してなぜ攻撃しない。
なんなんだよ急に。
サウンドフォースは敵を撹乱するための部隊だ。歌で敵をひるませ、その機に乗じて攻撃すれば敵を殲滅できる。なぜそうしないかと聞いておるんだ。
俺はそんなことのために歌ってんじゃねえ。
君はマクロスセブン船団の安全のことを考えないのかね。
あんたたちには俺のサウンドのことが何にも分かっちゃいないようだな。
My problem here is
ジャミングバーズを作るのはあんたたちの
Barton and gang are really being portrayed like the bad guys normally would.
待て、バサラ。
Yeah.
But their motivation is the right motivation.
Yeah.
Basara is being treated like the good guy while being... I don't know. I literally want to see him locked up in a room. That's all I really want anymore.
何よ、何してんのよ。
定期点検を行う。
待ってよ、どういうことそれ。
バートン大佐の命令だ。
バートン大佐が。
I was also going to bring that up. Technically, it's their VF-17.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do what we say, you don't have to have your military equipment to do it in.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand. We can see that eventually at some point, I guess. This is going to turn into Girls in Panzer, just with Valkyries.
統合軍のプロジェクトチームが厳しい訓練の末、ようやく今日の日を迎えることが
I forgot what I was about to say. I just got lost in that.
In the Sailor Moon suits that they were wearing.
Well, there's just be like weird teams of the random people that we found that are just...
マクロスセブン船団の平和維持のためにもジャミングバーズを次々と増やしていきたい所存です。
Oh, right. I was saying that we're supposed to support Basara because we know he's the only one that can fucking do the things that we need to do to fight the enemy. But I don't want to support somebody who is just a jackass.
Yeah. Who's now moping. Who's just moping because he can't.
Well, he's moping over where the VF-17 used to be.
どうした？式典に出ないのか？まあ。
Was it VF-17 or VF-19? My brain is fried now.
VF-19, yeah.
Yeah. The VF-17 is what Diamond Force uses.
No, it also used VF-19s.
No, they
No,
use
VF-17, the
17s.
Diamonds. Yeah,
Emerald Force uses VF-19s. Diamond Force uses VF-17s. But somehow that got drilled into my brain. And all the other normal aircraft that they use are VF-11s.
Oh, finally. Oh, you should think about what you're doing. 31 episodes in the show.
Oh, hey, it's this guy.
ハニーって呼んで。皆さんお待たせしました。第1期ジャミングバーズをご紹介しましょう。どうぞ。ところで、ジャミングバーズは私の事務所で扱わせてもらうことになったわ。
Do they have original songs, or are they like the boy band thing?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I know those songs. They sound familiar.
My problem is your favorite music is music I don't like, so...
No, but it's not from this series or from Macross Plus. I think it's from Macross too.
ジャミングバーズか。誰もが期待する効果が出てくれればいいが。
By the time this aired, Macross 2 had already come out, didn't it?
Yeah, 1992. Yeah.
Well, there you
But
go.
it's in this. It is in discontinuing.
No, it's an alternate universe.
Exactly. There's not. It's not. I mean, discontinuities is not part of the canon.
I know, that's why we didn't watch it yet. Things I had to be aware of when making a watch one.
忘れちゃったの？俺だよ。エメラルドフォース隊長ドッカーだよ。この間待ってたのにな。デートだよ。断りの連絡がないのは OK の印なんだから。
This is turning into one of the worst episodes.
守ってくれなくちゃ。
Yeah, that's not what you. That's not what it means.
ミレーヌさん。よ、ガムリン。
Throw some hands.
じゃ、また後でね。
高高度に敵確認。
Oh, god damn it.
隊直ちにスクランブル。
ゲペルニッチ様の
Oh,
マイ
we're
ンド
doing
コ
this
ントロ
again.
ール機関
Get something
1450
in your ear.
完璧美を見せてやる。
Oh, these guys are about to be dead. Oh, the Jamin birds. Never mind. I thought they were our generic VF-11 pilots.
ボックススタンバイ。
ジャミングバーズシステム A から Q2 までオン。
CCX 確認。
By the way, when did they get trained?
BBX スロー。
You remember how she just only plays the piano?
初めての出撃です。気をつけて。ありがとう。
ジャミングバーズ発進準備完了。歌いまくってやるぜ。
Now that there's no women in this jet to assault. It would have been hilarious to me if that was Jamin's birds, whatever the fuck they're called. Just all right there, just dead. Oh, that was real. That felt fucking real. That voice actress did work.
何をしてる？早く歌え！
レイ、バサラは？
行くぞ。歌いまくると言ったはずだ。歌え！
Ah, Bobby, you went down a second time.
私たちだけでも歌うのよ。ベルキリーに乗って今すぐ迎えに来てあなたとならきっとどんなことも
可愛い子さんたちを死なせてたまるか。
At least it's giving you the difference between them, because you can tell they're not singing like with any heart or anything.
Yeah.
Probably also because they really gave the main character some real backing. Because they've grounded him.
俺はなぜ戦っている？
同じ手か美ではない。敵を殲滅せよ。徹底的に殲滅せよ。殲滅美。
I'm assuming it's a mind control beam and you like just drain them again.
何よ、正気に戻ったんじゃないの？
我がマインドコントロールパ
Alright,
ワー
there
の
we
威
go.
力。究極の増幅美。
The thing that Gepernick was talking about in episode 2
何
ago.
をしているんだ。
俺のバルキリーを返しやがれ。
まだメンテナンスの途中だ。大佐の許可が下りるまで出すわけにいかん。
離せ、離しやがれ。
置いてろ、また。バサラ、バルキリーを出撃させろ。ガムに。
But did you just leave the battlefield, Gamlin, to do this?
I guess so.
ボンバー。
Guess so.
Also, I want to say that if you're going to use the name of your band as like a cool slogan thing, Fire is the one you should use, not
Yeah.
Bomber. Although, no, I take that back. You don't want to shout Fire all over the place. Probably not great. Also, I do regret all the hate that I've thrown at these girls. This sounds horrible for them.
Yeah.
I feel actual empathy for them.
何をしているジャミングバーズ？だって敵をかく乱しろ。早く歌え。
I would argue that they are probably really confusing the enemy right now, doing what they're doing.
バサラ。よし、今だ。サウンドブースター1号機発進。
てめえらがどう思うと何をしようと俺は歌うぜ。
I'm at
I
least
guess.
glad that they tried. I understand that they can't win the scenario without Basara there, but
Yeah.
Basara is the meme that can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
Didn't help that Gabble here is calling the show out. They're just doing the same thing every episode. So Basara's angry about something?
Yes.
Does that
Not being
apply
allowed to say?
Yeah, I mean, does that apply to this episode's thing, or
Yeah.
just in general?
やはりジャミングバーズは時期尚早だったかもしれませんね。
違うな。サウンドフォースでさえ何回となく失敗を繰り返して今の地位を築いたんだ。たった一度の失敗ぐらいでめげるには及ばん。何よりもうかつだったのはジャミングバーズの連中が戦場でろくに歌えなかったことだ。無理もない。これからは戦場に臨む際の基礎訓練を積まねばならんだ。試練は覚悟の上だ。
So the Hikaru boot camp scenes, but with Bobby. The one character
Bobby-
we really wanted
the
to see
Bobby-
more of.
Yeah, the Bobby redemption arc.
I don't think you come back from that. I think the thing is that Basara has to recognize that his Valkyrie doesn't have infinite resources, which means that if he wants it to get serviced or have, I don't know, a fuel uptake, I don't know what the hell, he still has to deal with the military. Unless he's going to start going pirate and start stealing shit. Again, it's just, that's my problem, is that I want Basara to face reality and he won't himself, and then when the show brings out characters that will try and make him, the show refuses to make him.
That's what I mean. That the plot twisted to so that he's always right, even when.
Well, okay. My argument against that is that he is right in that he's the only one that can do this. The people that are trying to make him face consequences are the ones that are wrong, because they're putting people's lives at risk for trying to make one man see that there's consequences to his actions, which is unsatisfying but realistic, right? If there's only one way to save people, and it means you have to, like, subvert your own will to somebody you fucking hate, you gotta do what's best for everybody.
バサラ、森の中で裸の女の子と何してるのよ。
俺の熱い血を届け。
私どうしたらいいのよ。
しびれ目覚めるんだ。
次回、裏切りと少女の涙。
飛んで火にいる炸裂ボンバー。
To be fair, if you find yourself naked in the woods with a girl and your blood starts feeling like it's burning, you probably want to consult a doctor.
Yeah.
Also, that's Max. Is that Giggle? No, that's Gamlin, right?
That's Giggle and that's Basara. I think.
No. Wait, what? No,
Yes,
the
it
guy
is.
on the left is Max. Isn't it?
No, that's Basara.
Oh, okay, it's his hair. I thought that was
Yeah.
Max's really large fucking hat. And the I'm seeing now with the Mega Man style pauldrons that he wears. Or I thought it was Max's really weird white suit. I was like, why the fuck is Max out here? Who you think is on the right?
Giggle.
Isn't Giggle balding?
Yeah,
That's
he is
hair.
balding.
Oh, see, damn it! What I saw and I'm seeing now is balding. I thought was just like light shining off his hair, so that it was just like
Yeah.
a sheen. Okay, I guess that makes more sense now. Although I think it would be more entertaining if it was Max and Gamlin out there encountering Basara singing in the woods to a naked woman with
I mean,
Mylene present.
Mylene in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, but my whole point being is that I want Basara to face consequences because I don't like this whole petulant child thing. And the problem is that they made Basara the linchpin to fucking everything, which means if the Basara doesn't get his way, then people die or
Yeah,
stay in a coma forever. Like there's no alternative, and it makes me appreciate Colonel Barton just a little bit more. And that he's like, we need to fucking find alternatives to Basara, like now, because this is not going to last. This is not going to stand. And that's why I assume he's doing the. We have to put these people through training. We can't just have one sound force, especially not when the whole thing depends on this asshat. Like
Yeah.
I keep asking him to come in. It's like a normal fucking request. Normal people do this, and I had to send 4 guys to pull him in.
And also, it now turns out that if he has a motivation, he doesn't even understand his own motivation. Like now we're like, oh, he has to find a reason why he's singing. So he didn't have a reason before?
Oh god, what's the guy's name? What are you rebelling against? What you got?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. That's
Is that
66.
Rebel?
Rebel Without a Cause, yeah, too.
Oh, yeah.
What is his name?
I know the line you're talking about.
It's
Yeah.
not Marlon Brando.
No.
I want to say it starts
James
with a
Dean?
D. Yeah, James Dean. There
James
we go.
Dean, yeah.
That's what he is. He is
Yeah.
just rebellious teen who doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have anything to rebel against.
But also, he's a person without registration from a place that is outside the system. Nobody knows where he comes from. You know what he is? He's a D&D character. He's a pacifist murder hobo.
Well, except he's the opposite of that.
Well, he doesn't have the murder, but he's a hobo. Right? He's so
Well, I
disconnected
mean,
with
he's
everyone
literally,
else.
yeah.
A player character. He's a player character. All the NPCs are doing what they're supposed to do. And he's like, well, my game is all about singing, and I gain points for singing, so I'm going to sing. Basically, that's what he feels like, right?
Yeah, second
He's
edition
playing.
D&D,
Yeah.
where you get bonus experience for doing your class-specific stuff.
Yeah, he's the bard who just, well, I get experience points for singing. I'm going to sing. Everybody, I'm going to sing all the time because that's when that's my character build. You know, he's the ultimate, sci-fi rock and roll bard, basically.
I mean, you bring up a good point, though. He's unregistered, and he's, I guess, part of the ship that's, like, not considered part of the fleet either.
And Ray doesn't even know where he comes from. Nobody knows.
Well, I'm just saying, why is the ship here? The ship that's not part of the fleet. I asked that the moment they said it wasn't part of the fleet. It's like, why is it here? But Basara being unregistered as well. What's the point? Right? It's an emigrant fleet. You could have signed up, I'm assuming. They literally sent 7 of them with 1,000,000 people apiece. So I don't get it.
I mean, is he a unregistered clone with no parents, right? And it feels like that kind of backstory is like,
I would love it if he's actually. Oh, he can't be a my clone. All my clones have elf ears.
I mean, technically, all of them are my clones because it's.
No, only the Zentradi are my clones.
Well,
I was going to say I would love it if Basara was a my clone, and that's why he's unregistered because he's like some Zentradi guy who turned into a my clone illegally or something like that, and has just been hiding, and that's why he doesn't have a solid backstory because he hasn't figured it out yet. Like a D&D character trying to sneak into a place without coming up with a plan first. He hasn't figured out who he's supposed to be for his disguise check. You know? That would at least explain some things, but then again, he doesn't have Zentradi ears, so he's not a my clone. It's just another case where I think we came up with another cool thing the show decided not to do or look into. God, imagine that. Imagine a Macross series about a thief, a Zentradi thief, who just has a bunch of myclone chambers so that he can change bodies. You know, just like a Pink Panther Zentradi. I mean, that'd be a show. I think I'd be down to watch it because it'd be in the universe. It would use everything we've seen before. And you can imagine all the storylines where you just have a different body all the time. Sorry, that's how boring this episode was. Again, I felt for the girls. Those voice actresses did a really good job. Like it sounded fucking real. Like
Yeah.
somebody ran into the office that they were recording it with a knife, and they were like
But
screaming for
why?
real.
But why did they bring back Bobby? Ugh.
I don't know. Probably because they paid him for the voice acting already.
Yeah, and the whole bikini thing. I mean, that was fan service. That clearly was fan service
Oh yeah,
because they even had Milia in a bikini just so, and the butt shots and everything, just because it was
the
fan
butt
service.
shots cemented as fan service.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
front shots, there was nobody in like a super revealing thing,
yeah,
right? But the butt shots were like up the ass. So
yeah,
and the
yeah.
camera positioning. So I mean, it's like he didn't. If he was like, okay, sing for me, right? That would be one thing. But he didn't even like ask to hear them. I guess maybe that was like the first rounds
Yeah.
that made.
Also, it's the thing. The thing is like, oh, I need to know your measurements. It's like, really? Oh yeah, because it reminds me of what's that video game that had the girl that could only take power through sunlight, and that was the excuse of why she was wearing like very like just a bikini and like hose and stuff like. Her name is Quiet, and the only thing she does in the game is hum. It's Metal Gear
Oh,
7, 6, Metal
Vengeance.
Gear 6, Metal Gear
Here's the
6.
thing: is that I never played the game or watched any playthrough, but I know exactly what you're talking about through the osmosis of the internet.
Yeah, so it's like
I
that. It's
didn't
like, oh
know.
no,
One, I didn't know that you get power through sunlight. You said that. I was like, Supergirl? What are you talking about?
kind of like that. It's like, oh yeah, no, because it was like, why is she like? It's like, oh, there's a real, very important explanation for this, and then you hear the explanation. It's like, I mean, she just could like have one scene when she goes and takes sunbathing or something. I don't know. It's
See,
yeah,
when you say stuff like that, I think Kill the Kill. If you ever watch that,
kill,
where,
yeah.
yeah, literally getting naked makes you more powerful.
There's a whole clothing theme
Right.
power up.
And her weapon is literally scissors or half a scissor. So,
Yeah.
that's why the bad guy's quote is literally like, I'm better than you, but if I have to get naked to beat you, that's what it'll take. The whole thing. But, um,
So
yeah.
he goes into this very long-winded. Chiba goes into this long-winded explanation that has nothing to do with their measurements, right? I mean,
I don't know. If I was gonna like devil's advocate this, maybe it's like a courage thing. You need to be courageous to be able to get out there in a fighter jet and sing at the bad guys. So if you're courageous, you're not gonna have a problem with like displaying yourself in front of the entire fleet.
I mean, come on, fighter pilots don't. As far as I know, training for fighter pilot doesn't include strip yourself naked and run in a banana hammock in the middle of the base. I'm sure as a prank, yes.
Are you
As
sure?
as formal training, not so much.
Maybe you haven't watched enough Playing with the Boys. Look, we inspired
Yeah,
everything inspired here by Top Gun. So at least
yeah.
something here's got to be inspired by Playing with the Boys.
Which was also fan service, right?
Yeah, of course. Uh, yeah, no. I think we're just in a valley at the moment. Eventually something is going to happen, I hope, to get us back up again into
Yeah,
the
it
good
kind of feels
episodes.
again. It feels like the arc where they were just City 7 was just lost. It's like, oh, this is going to be a couple of episodes. I mean, talking about that is like, remember if I mean, like 2 episodes or 3 where they disappear and the next episode they're crashing into the sun. It's like, oh, they misjumped, and that's when they ended up. That would have made more sense. But here's like 5, 6 episodes, and oh, by the way, we need to end this arc. Have them crash into a nearby star because that's exciting.
I mean, maybe that's what it is. The downturn starts when Civil goes into the bubble, right? She kisses
Uh-huh.
Basara, goes into the bubble, and then the episodes start getting worse. And maybe that's the upturn as Civil wakes up again and we return to whatever plot that was.
And I guess the only reason why we have Civil wake up is she's going to join our side, right? She's going to like, oh, I'm going to use my powers, and it would make some sense if she turns around and goes like, okay, by the way, I'm awake. I realize what's going on. I'm going to tell you what the whole thing with the proto
I'm gonna
Delvin is.
interrupt you there. You're using way too many words. Two at a time.
Okay. It would have been cool there's a payoff to her
My
whole thing with
my
Basara.
problem with what you're anticipating is that Giggle changing sides is the only thing that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Unless they ass pull something about the kiss. Like I said before, it feels like they may have exchanged information because that's when
Hmm.
Basara starts getting all like mopey and shit. Like maybe, and also he fucking learned her name, right? So like Starfire, she kisses people. One, so we can have fan service, and two, that's how she like exchanges language and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a thing.
Yes.
Because I don't know, maybe she's absorbing all of Basara's knowledge, and that's why she's in a coma. So when
Hey,
she comes out, she'll be like a different person.
and she'll be telling us exactly what the hell's going on. Basically, it's like,
That's
oh
never gonna
yes, by
happen.
the
That's not the show.
yeah, that's
But
the this show is not like that.
if anything, I feel like she'll come out. Giggle will have changed sides by then, and then Giggle will explain to Sybil what's going on. And I don't know. I feel like if that was the case, Sybil would just run off and do whatever the fuck she wants because she's never listened to Giggle anyway. But Giggle is the only one interacting with people. He's like had his emotional breakout episode with Basara, and he's still sticking around and watching.
Yep.
He's the only one having character development anymore,
Hmm.
except for Gamlin, Mylene.
Everybody but
I
Basara.
feel no. I'm just trying to think of other people, and I can't think of anyone else who's getting development. Gamlin, Mylene, Giggle.
That's it.
I mean, can you think of anyone who's being developed?
Not really.
Does Milia's "I'm still young and can do stuff" thing a development? No, because that's been going on since fighting Mayor Milia.
Even before that.
Well, I mean, I think that's when she started saying "I'm still young" to people. So, and this isn't really a development of stuff. It's just her repeating that again and doing crazy shit.
And having her still husband go like, oh god, this is embarrassing.
Well, because he's been giving her like the eye the whole time, like, "Oh, I'm still attracted to her." But I don't know if he's like embarrassed that she's like standing out in a bikini or that she's trying to sing because we've never heard her try to sing before. Wait,
Yeah,
did
that
we?
didn't go well.
I think we made back in SDF Macross when she goes to the ship with the baby. Does she sing at them when she's holding the baby?
No, no, she doesn't. She tells him what the baby is, but she doesn't
I
sing.
felt like she had like a longer scene where she may have. In my head, I see her, but I can't remember if it just. I'm just remembering the flapping of anime lips, or if she
Yeah.
sang.
No, no, she didn't sing. She's just
Okay.
like, oh, this is a product of what happens when a man and woman meet, blah blah. And they're like, oh, no.
If she had sung, that would have been justification for this, because that would have led me to believe, oh, she thinks that she can do this because she did it once. Hell, she should have sing. She should have sang the Lin May song set because she was there. That's the song set that affected her the most. Well, to be fair, actually, it's Max that affected her the most. She didn't really get affected by Min May.
No.
Because she watched the Quamzim assault and
Mhm.
saw all these people acting weird and then attacking one another, and she was just like standing in the wreckage watching. So we didn't really see her get affected at all. Even though she says, "I was one of those that suffered culture shock." We don't really see her get affected by culture shock. She just boards the ship, starts playing arcade games with people, gets
Mhm.
into a knife fight, and gets married.
Yep.
The super developed characters of Macross. This is why Zero is still my favorite. Those people had character development. They went on a journey in 5 episodes. All right, well, anything else you want to add before we end this?
Nope.
All right. Well, again, this has been another episode of Across 7. I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?